Yeah, so we have speed. You go.
Nos encontramos desde Los Ángeles con Stephenie Meyer, la autora del libro Twilight, que ha sido un éxito y ahora se traslada a la pantalla grande. Hi, Stephenie.
Hi.
So let's start with the book.
Okay.
Did you expect this success? Why do you think that it was so successful?
Oh, I didn't expect any success at all. I was surprised that anyone wanted to publish it, let alone read it. So I was shocked when it started doing well and then doing better, and there were more people coming to signings, and I still don't know why people are as excited. I know I love it, but I wrote it for myself, so I should. I think maybe I put enough of just love and heart into it and believed in it so much while I was writing it that people maybe feel that as much love as I had for it when they're reading it.
I understand that you weren't very familiar with the vampires and anything. So how was the research about?
You know, I didn't do a ton of research because I wanted to write my own story. And I knew, the basic Halloween version of vampires. They, crosses and stakes and garlic and sleep during the day in coffins and sunlight burns them. And I took that and said, well, now why? Why should they have things? Everything else about them stays the same. And why should they have to sleep? Why should they ever be unconscious? They're frozen. They're always exactly the same. So I kind of went with that idea of them being unchanging and made it my own mythology, which was a lot of fun.
And then it's going to be translated to the big screen.
Yes.
So how was your plan to protect your book and make sure that it wasn't going to be destroyed,
Well, it was a risk, and I wasn't sure that I could protect it if I put it out there because there's really no way to guarantee that it's going to come out right. So I just had to make a leap of faith and say, on the one side, it could be horrible. On the other side, it could be great. And what if I could see all that on the screen? So I took the risk, and I'm really happy that I did.
Did you work along with them? Did you work
a little
on the script? And did you go on set too?
I did. I was a little bit involved. I didn't want to get too involved and mess things up because I don't know how to make a movie. But I got to read the script. They checked a lot of the casting by me and said, how do you feel about this person, that person? I was on set a couple times and had so much fun watching Catherine do her thing.
I believe you were very concerned and don't miss that passage that was saying the lion fell in love with the lamb. What was so meaningful for you?
Well, they rewrote that line a little bit for the script, and it actually sounded better in context. I did like it, but the conversation we had with Summit and Catherine is that line is tattooed on a lot of people's bodies right now, and I just thought maybe we better, in some cases, stick with the actual line, not because it makes the movie better, but for the fans, because, this is really their thing, too, and we want to make it right for them.
How did you feel when you saw the result? It did justice to the book?
It does. When I first went in to see it, I was just terrified. And I had a notepad because it was still in a rough form, and I was going to write down everything that was wrong so that we could fix it. And I forgot to write anything down because I was just mesmerized, and I'm laughing out loud, and I'm gasping along with the rest of my friends that were there, and I just enjoyed it. And I've seen it twice now, and I'm ready to go see it again.
And were you familiar with Catherine's work before, or you just got to know her?
I had heard of some of her pieces, but I wasn't really familiar with her as a director until I heard she was going to be directed, and I kind of checked it out, and I thought, this is someone who pulls really realistic portrayals out of actors. She really is able to get it so that people feel real. They don't feel like actors. They don't feel like it's a script. And I thought this is exactly what we need.
And also the cast. I believe when you write a book, you have already picturing your characters. How was now that you see them and you have a face for each of them? How was that feeling?
It's really odd. Of course they can't look exactly like they did in my head, but I was prepared for a much bigger difference, that it wasn't going to look anything right. And they come so close. The first night I met the actors, they'd come from a photo shoot, so they were all in costume, in character. They all came to dinner, and I was sitting there at the table with the Cullens, and it was just it freaked me out. It was so strange.
Did you make any suggestions, like in wardrobe settings or those kind of things to make it look like them?
A little bit, but most of it, Catherine was just so right on it. Before I had a chance to say, about the costumes, let's be really careful because we don't want this to be all goth and leather and chokers, it's just not the right thing. I brought that up with her, and she's like, oh no, I already talked to her. We're doing an ice palette, and this is what it's going to look like. And it was perfect. So she had my back on everything. She knew what was right, and she was so on the same page with me.
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.